really understand it until you actually see it coming at you in a wall of flame. Everything is so dry here, and it's been drying out for, 2 years, so it's very volatile. And of course we have the eucalyptus, which is in the air. It's volatile too, so it just explodes. It's very, very terrifying. The fire still came at us, even though we were very well prepared. There was over 200 firefighters here from various areas in Australia that were helping us to fight the fires. The lack of water, of course, is a big problem, so we had to ship in water tanks, etc., to actually deal with it. And people were using blowers to blow back the sticks and the grass and clear the area, but it didn't make any difference with this fire. It's like fireballs in the air that explode. Cars blowing up before the fire even gets near. It's unprecedented. We've had, loss of life at our little community, and we're all devastated by this.
I think all the stuff that I've seen has been from Indonesia, but with the Indonesian through-flow current that we have dominating here, it could come from further north, up in the north of Southeast Asia perhaps. So we see the occasional cloud of it, and it comes and goes with the currents, within a few hours. But that was horrifying, that amount.
14 million people are told they have cancer each year. But that figure is expected to soar to 24 million by 2035. The WHO's International Agency for Research on Cancer described it as an oncoming tidal wave caused by people living longer and the growing global population. It warned that the cost of treatments were spiralling out of control and that cancer was not a problem we could cure our way out of.
First of all, that we're seeing a very rapid increase in the numbers of cancers worldwide, but particularly in the low and middle income countries. So this shows us that cancer is truly a global problem, and that we're not going to be able to address this problem by simply improving the treatment of the disease. The second big change, I think, is the advance we've seen in the understanding of the biology of cancer. And now our challenge is to translate this new knowledge about the biology into better treatments, but also into ways to prevent the disease and detect it early.
The WHO said governments needed to consider tougher controls to curb drinking and obesity, such as higher prices for alcohol and sugar. Projections show cancer will become an increasing burden in the developing world, where prevention, early diagnosis and treatment are major problems. The WHO said simple measures could make a difference, such as wider use of the HPV vaccine to prevent cervical cancer.
I'd often be brought to tears during my shifts because there was just so much pressure on me. When I graduated, I was so excited. I really wanted to do a job where I could make a difference and help people. But I've found, as time has gone by on the wards, things have just gotten more and more stressful, and we've been under more and more pressure. I felt like I wasn't giving good care to my patients, or the care that they deserved rather, because there just wasn't enough time. And because I was so stressed and run down, I wasn't being as caring as I know I could be. I ended up having a couple of months off sick for stress and depression, and my GP said that she felt the main trigger for me was work. I'm not sure exactly what I'll be doing in the future, but I'm just really sad that I can't be a nurse in the NHS without sacrificing my mental health for it.
For days, at least, a few days without speaking to anybody. You know that if you didn't make the effort to just go out for an hour, food shopping or something, you could go for months, I think, without actually speaking to anybody. And even then, when you are speaking to somebody, it's just the checkout girl or somebody like that, So you do make conversation a little bit, and that's why when you see older people, they often tend to talk too much, and I think it's a result of loneliness.
This is an album which my mum sort of tried to put together for me of my early life and pictures of me with my dad.
Looking back at the past, my overriding sense was how little I really knew my father, or the scale of the problems he was facing.
He looks quite distant, quite, there's a sort of dark mood he looks like in there, and that was typical of later on in his life.
What I do know is that in the very early hours of one January morning in 1989, my father left the family home and took his own life.
I'm not angry at him for doing it. I feel very sorry for the poor guy, and I'm just confused as to why that happened.
The latest national statistics show the shockingly high incidence of male suicide. Nearly 5,000 men take their lives each year, and it remains the biggest killer of men under 50.
When somebody chooses to take their own life, there are as many reasons as there are individuals who've chosen to do that, and I think it's very difficult, but it's important that we accept that we will probably never know the individual reasons behind individual cases.
Professor Rory O'Connor conducts a wide range of experiments into the psychology of suicidal behaviour.
Living life other.
What we're trying to do with this task is trying to tap into that, to understand and predict who's more likely to kill themselves, and crucially also try and understand better the distinction between people who have thoughts of suicide and go no further. How do they differ from individuals who make the next step, translate thoughts into action?
My own father, in his 40s, was in the most vulnerable age group as incidents of suicide peak among men in that decade. To this day, I'm still unsure why he did what he did.
Привез в лес, в пустое место безлюдное. Сказал, клади руки на пень. Я там и плакала, и кричала, и просила. Потом он сказал, отвернись, и начал рубить руки. достал, да, еще раз нож, опять приставил мне к шее, горлу, сказал, ну, признавайся, изменяешь ты мне или нет. Я как раз наоборот думала, что полиция у нас помогает. И когда я туда пошла, я думала, что да, на следующий день сразу приедут и что-то сделают, и будут проведены какие-то меры, а как показывает практика, нет, совсем не так. Сказал, вы сейчас помиритесь, поругаетесь, это все несерьезно, таких людей куча, кто разводится. В начале декабря он закрыл это дело, а через 3 дня меня вывезли в лес и отрубили кисти рук. Для меня это вообще странно, ну, что это административка, а не уголовная. Что да, это штраф за то, что ты избил человека, это будет просто какой-то штраф. Как вот у меня, например, у него штраф 10 тысяч. Левой руки со мной не было, она осталась в лесу, ее потом нашли, она была из нескольких частей, на ней было 8 переломов, у меня потом пересадка кожи, вен. Ну, например, вот мягкость кота я не чувствую. Я не понимаю, что это. Я говорю, сейчас я чувствую горячее, холодное. Дети не знают, они думают, что я попала в аварию, потому что для них это тоже очень тяжело психологически, и для меня это тоже на будущее, не знаю, как это рассказать, как преподнести. Для меня, чтобы он пожизненно сидел, это самое лучшее, что, ну, что обеспечило бы мне безопасность. То, что он будет ходить здесь, ну, на одной как бы территории, для меня это небезопасно и для детей, и для всех.